And that's my answer there, 12x squared plus 3x. Okay, so now I'm going to look at another example. Okay, so the next example that I'm going to do is x bracket x plus y plus 3x bracket 4x minus 3y plus 2xy. Okay, right, we already know, girls, that brackets mean to multiply, so I need to get rid of this bracket, get rid of this bracket, okay, and I don't have to do anything out here, okay. So some people in their homework were getting a little bit confused with anything if they didn't have a bracket, okay. If there's no bracket outside it or around it, you don't have to multiply anything to it. So what I do, I get my different colour pen and I go x times this, I do my arrows like this, and I go 3x times this, 3x times this, okay, plus 2xy is just left there. Okay, right, so remember, guys, these all have an imaginary 1, okay, imaginary 1 beside them. Now, what I have to do, okay, so x times x, okay, right, so it's like an example up here when we were dealing with a times a, okay, so x times x gives me, I keep my base, which is x, and I add my powers, 1 plus 1 gives me 2. Right, then what I have to do is I have to multiply my x by my y, okay, so x times y, girls, is just going to give you xy. Okay, because there's just an imaginary 1 in here, imaginary 1 in here. 1 times 1 just gives me 1. Okay, so we can put it here if we want, but we know xy. Okay, and we just keep our variables xy like that. Plus, okay, so I need to multiply here my constant by my constant. Okay, so 3 times 4 gives me 12. Right, now I need to multiply my variable by my variable. Okay, so x times x, okay, we did it over there already, gives me x squared. So I keep my base, which is x, and I add my powers. The next thing I have to do is I have to multiply 3x by minus 3y, okay? So plus by minus gives me a minus, girls, and some of us need to use their calculators for that one. So I have minus 3 times 3 gives me 9. Right, x times y, okay, we just keep our variables, is just xy. And then I have plus 2xy, okay? The last thing I have to do, girls, is I have to make sure that I simplify it, okay? So I need to put the things that go together. Okay, right, so I underline my x squared, okay, that's one term. That will go with my 12x squared, okay, because they're the exact same terms. Right, then I get a different colour pen, or you can keep the same colour pen, and I circle, okay, so 1xy minus 9xy plus 2xy also can go together, okay. And then what I need to do is I need to go x squared plus 12x squared plus 1xy. Remember, whatever sign is right beside it, that's the sign that goes with it, okay? So this has a minus right beside it, so they're like a couple. We can't split the sign and the term up, okay? So this is minus 9xy plus 2xy. Okay, so in front of my x squared, girls, I could have an imaginary 1, okay? So what I get then is I have 1x squared plus 12x squared gives me 13x squared. 1 take away 9 is minus 8. Minus 8 plus 2 is minus 6xy. But we could put that into our calculator. Okay, so what you would put into your calculator would be 1 minus 9 plus 2. And that will give you minus 6. And you just keep your variable xy. And that's my answer for that one, girls.